Now, three formidable women stand at the crossroads of Venezuela's future: Celia Flores, Delcy Rodríguez, and Maria Corina Machado. The next report tells you all about who they are, how two of them share a spiritual bond with India, and how their influence, alliances, and rivalries could redefine this Latin American nation's fate.
While the world's attention has been riveted on the capture of President Nicolás Maduro, few seem to know why First Lady Cilia Flores was whisked away along with her husband to the United States. Described as a power broker and first combatant of Venezuelan socialism, Flores is accused of narco-terrorism. She could be seen in shackles and prison garb alongside President Maduro as they were escorted by US agents to a court in New York City. By all accounts, she was a powerful figure in Venezuela's politics. A lawyer by training, she served as Venezuela's Attorney General from 2004 to 2007 and then as President of the National Assembly until 2015. As President Maduro's closest advisor, she shaped laws, controlled alliances, and even influenced judicial picks. Her role amplified President Maduro's grip, turning her into a symbol of entrenched Chavismo, powerful enough to be targeted alongside him. Chavismo is a left-wing populist political ideology and movement named after the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. Celia Flores also has an interesting Indian connection to boot. She's a disciple of Sri Sathya Sai Baba, a spiritual guru who has a large following in Venezuela. In fact, Flores was the first of the Maduro couple to follow Sathya Sai Baba. It was she who introduced Nicolás Maduro to the Indian guru. In 2005, Nicolás Maduro and Celia Flores visited Puttaparthi in southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh for an audience with Sathya Sai Baba. They could be seen kneeling on the floor near the guru. Such was the couple's devotion to the guru that a large framed portrait of Sai Baba was hung alongside those of former leaders Hugo Chavez and Simón Bolívar in President Maduro's private office in Miraflores, Paris and Caracas. Most recently, on Sai Baba's birthday in November 2025, President Maduro had issued a public statement, one of his last with a non-political message. Delcy Rodríguez is a 55-year-old lawyer who has been President Maduro's right hand, serving first as foreign minister and then as vice president. She's credited with stabilizing PDVSA, Venezuela's oil giant, through deals with Russia and Iran. US President Donald Trump has said that his Secretary of State Marco Rubio has spoken to Rodríguez. President Trump claimed that she is willing to grant US access to Venezuelan oil and energy infrastructure. So is Rodríguez loyal to Maduro or Trump? Rodríguez says that Nicolás Maduro remains the country's only president as she was sworn in as acting president. With her brother George Rodríguez's re-election as the president of Venezuela's National Assembly, the influential siblings are in control of Venezuela's executive and legislative branches. But with President Maduro gone, Rodríguez is navigating survival, pledging cooperation with the United States while also demanding his release. President Trump sees her as pliant, backed by a US spy agency CIA assessment that Maduro regime loyalists such as Rodríguez will help ensure short-term stability. Rodríguez happens to be a follower of Sathya Sai Baba too. She has made multiple visits to Puttaparthi over the years. In August 2023, she travelled there to pay her respects at the memorial. And then there is Maria Corina Machado. The 58-year-old industrial engineer turned firebrand leads the main opposition party. The former lawmaker began her political career as a founder of the vote monitoring organization, Sumate. Barred from the 2024 presidential election for alleged corruption, she backed Edmundo González, who claimed a landslide win over President Maduro, but eventually fled to Spain seeking political asylum after facing arrest warrants and threats from the Maduro government. Machado won the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize for her push towards democracy. While Machado has said that she hopes to return to Venezuela as soon as possible to serve the country, President Donald Trump has said that she doesn't enjoy the respect of Venezuelans. Incidentally, Machado was allegedly involved in an attempted coup against Hugo Chavez in 2002. As co-founder of Sumate, she signed the Carmona Decree during the brief ouster of Chavez, dissolving institutions in a move critics call treasonous. She denies plotting violence, framing it as a resistance to autocracy, but the allegations have haunted her ever since. So how do these three women shape Venezuela's destiny? Celia, Flores, captured and sidelined, represents the crumbling old regime. Rodríguez, as interim president, holds the reins for now, brokering with President Trump for stability. And Machado pushes for Gonzalez's mandate, free elections, and release of prisoners, positioning herself as their democratic heir. Will Venezuela bend to the US might under Rodríguez or rise through Machado's revolution? One thing is clear: how these women act will echo for generations. Bureau Report, DD India.